Well, Laura's right. That's going to be the big issue that's going to be heading up pretty soon. And up next is one of our other board members, and this is Jeff Rodriguez. He is got an associate's degree in welding, associate's degree in construction management. He's a Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society member. He is attending CSU, Global Senior 3.8 GPA, hoping to graduate summa cum laude. I'd like to welcome Jeff Rodriguez.
Wow. Well, this is our first time. This is my first time speaking at the steps of the Capitol. And I just want to thank you all for coming out in the rain. And I want to tell you a little something, how I was raised by Democratic parents. I'm here to say a few things, how Democrats' hard work and values spending, living within a budget, how we did it. The ethics I've learned from my Democrat parents, which they come from a very big Union and Democrat town, which is Pueblo, Colorado. I graduated high school, and as Tony said, I got a few associate's degrees. My hard work, I've earned these grades because over time, I can now see the character my mom and dad instilled in me. My mom and dad, may God bless their souls. They're not here with me today. They have taught me to never give up, to work hard for what you want. And what my dad used to say, earn your keep, and that there was no such thing as a free lunch. My Democrat mom and dad never handed us what we wanted. They made us work for it by working around the house and helping in the garage, watering the lawn, mowing, and pulling weeds. Then and only then did we get an allowance. And let me tell you something, $5 a week took a long time for us to save for what we wanted. My brothers and sisters, we all learned the value of $1 and what it meant to earn it. We learned in order to get more money, we needed más trabajo. I went to work at 9 years old, pulling weeds, painting apartments, cleaning up my uncle's properties. I made my first $9 working every Saturday for a month, pulling weeds. Oh, did I mention that already? But you know what? I didn't know it then, but I know it now. Even though it seemed like I was poor at the time, I was rich the whole time. I was rich in character building, rich with values. I was rich with... I'm sorry, I lost my place. I had earned it. It was all mine. Now our spending and living within a budget. My mom and dad only bought us what we needed and what we had to make. And we had to make it last because we weren't getting any more. Like each year they bought us new shoes and clothes for the new school year. I remember my mom and dad saying to only wear the new shoes for school and the old ones for playing around the house. And they'd always say, if you ruin those, you're not getting another pair. And we did not. I also remember at Christmas, like kids, we would always ask for toys and never clothes. And like all parents, guess what they got us? Clothes. Sure, we got one or two toys, but mostly clothes. But my parents couldn't afford the luxury of buying us all the toys we wanted. But that's okay. I knew I would get a job and earn the money to buy my own toys. The point I'm trying to make here is, Mom and Dad never asked the government for help. They provided what they could. My mom never asked the government for clothes for the children or food stamps to feed us. not my mom. She always thought it was a big embarrassment. And in a small town like Pueblo, she wouldn't be able to hold her head up knowing that everybody knew that we were on food stamps or accepting welfare from the government. As far as living on a budget, my mom hated using credit cards and getting loans. She always made sure that those bills were paid no matter what. And we tried to pay them off as soon as we could. And I can truly say today, I have no credit cards. If we don't have the money, we don't need it. My pages are sticking together.
Wing it.
My mom had her own business. She worked a full-time job, and then when my dad had to go on strike at the steel mill, they didn't go and get food stamps or ask for welfare. My mom got another job. It was a longer strike than anticipated. My mom took on a third job. She was a typist and went to medical transcription field on the side. She did so well, doctors came knocking down our door, had to get their medical records typed. So she quit her full-time job and started her own business. She built that business. All on her own, with pride, skill, and just with a high school diploma. She had 6 transcriptionists working for her with a 24-hour turnaround. As soon as she got those tapes, she typed them up and returned them back to the offices. If government, union issues, or an employer was going to fail us, she would not. So I ask you, with the values and ethics she had, why am I not Democrat? They never helped her in crisis. She did it on her own. There was never a crisis. My mom kept that from happening. I do not believe they are for the blue-collar worker. They had my mom and dad conned, believing that they had their back. I believe they raised us on Republican ethics and values, and that they were Republican and didn't know it. Like Ronald Reagan said, Latinos are Republican, they just don't know it yet. My mom and dad are prime examples, and I am a product of living my life as a Republican. My mom and dad, they were conned, and I'm paying the Democrats back. I'm Jeff Rodriguez. I'm a Colorado Hispanic Republican, and I'm voting Republican, voting for my values. So if you know someone sitting on the fence or leaning toward the left, has the same story like mine or Marco Rubio's if you saw the RNC, let them know about CHR and ask them to dig deep and think about the vote they are considering. Think about their values. Thank you.